All right, this video is the last video for this section. It is on writing the equation from the graph. So there are a few things that you need to look at the graph whenever you are ready to write this. I think first of all, you need to figure out if it is a sine graph or a cosine graph. So as a little review, sine looks like a little wave, and cosine looks like the U. So my best suggestion is always start at the y-axis. And it might help to make yourself a couple lines there. And then you are trying to go until it starts to repeat itself. So if I start here, and I go the whole way down, and I go back up, it starts to repeat right here. So that section right there is all I need to look at to get my equation. So if you look at it, that looks like a U. So it is cosine. The next thing that you need to look at is the amplitude. So that's how high and how low the graph goes from the center of the graph. So most of the time, the center of your graph is going to be the x-axis. So how high does it go? It goes up to 3. How low does it go? It goes down to -3. So your amplitude is 3. Next thing you need to figure out is your period. So whenever you look at the graph, you go to see where it's repeating. This number right here is the period. So your period is 1. But in the equation, you don't have your period. You have the b value. So if you remember, the period was 2 pi over b. We are trying to solve for the b value. So this is a simple substitution in solving. Put the 1 in for the p, equal to 2 pi over the b, and solve that for b. So multiply by b, and then you end up getting b equals 2 pi. And that would make sense. If you would substitute 2 pi back into here, what's 2 pi divided by 2 pi? You get 1. So your b is 2 pi. So to write your equation, remember this is how it looks regularly. We don't have a c because you started at the y-axis. And we don't have a d because the middle of the graph is the x-axis, so it didn't shift up or down. So your final answer, the A, is 3 cosine of 2 pi x. Okay, the next one. Same thing. You are going to start at the y-axis. Okay, and then you're looking to see where it goes to repeat. So I'm going. Starts to repeat that right there. And that number is 4. So trying to figure out what graph this is, it looks like it is a wave. So that is sine. However, the normal sine goes up and then down. This one is reflected. Okay, next step is to look for the amplitude. So how high and how low does it go from the center of the graph? Looks like the amplitude is 2. Okay, and then we need to find the b. So we look for the period. The period is 4. So you would have 4 equals 2 pi over b. So b equals 2 pi divided by 4, which would equal pi over 2. Okay, so whenever you're ready to write the equation, you put your amplitude first, then your function, pi over 2x, but we can't forget about this reflecting. And that's when you put the negative in front. Okay, next one. Start at the y-axis. Go until it repeats. So that looks like cosine, because it is the u. The amplitude looks like it goes up 5 and down 5. Okay, and then we have to find the b. So the period is 8 pi. So the b is 2 pi divided by 8 pi. Pi's cancel out. 2 and 8 can simplify. You get 1/4. So your equation for this would be 5 cosine 1/4 x. Okay, this one for number 4. If you start at the y-axis, you can start other places, but you would be adding in a shift. And I think starting at the y-axis is just easier, because then you can tell very easily what the function is. So that looks like it's sine. The amplitude, up 4, down 4. Okay, the period, it looks like they numbered by 2 pi. So the period would be 8 pi again. So to figure out your b, you do 2 pi divided by 8 pi, you get 1/4. So it should be 4 sine 1/4 x. Okay, here's another one. I've got 2 more here. Start at the y-axis. Go until it repeats. So that is a U shape, except it's upside down. So that's a cosine graph, but it's also reflected. The amplitude looks like it's 6 up and 6 down. And then the period is 8. So the b is 2 pi divided by 8, which is pi over 4. So you should have y equals negative, because we're reflecting. 6 is the amplitude. Cosine is the function. Pi over 4 is the b. Okay, last one. Start at the y-axis. Go until it repeats. This looks like it's the sine function, but it's upside down, so that means it's reflected. The amplitude up 7, down 7. The period is 8. So you should have negative 7 sine pi over 4 x. Okay, your homework for this video is a worksheet, and it has numbers 75 through 80 on it, and you're just taking the graph and writing the equation from the graph.